Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chapter 8 concerning the facility and equipment. So, the equipment used in preparing food and the facility in which the production takes place have a profound impact on the quality and quantity of product that you'll be able to pass through your facility. So, in this chapter, we're going to cover the maintenance of those assets. So, maintaining a well maintained and pest free facility is essential to ensure that the food in your premise is safe and sanitary. Unsanitary conditions, structural damage, or the presence of pests can lead to contamination that puts the public at risk. So, here we're going to outline the importance of facility cleanliness, proper equipment standards, effective waste management, and pest prevention strategies. So, by dealing with these, food handlers are going to be able to help protect the food from contamination and maintain a safe and hygienic environment for both their staff and their customers. So the first step is to maintain a clean and well-repaired facility and minimize the risk of contamination from outside sources, especially from unwanted pests. And this is basically comes from keeping your facility in good repair. Damaged structures like walls or tiles can harbor bacteria and pests, increasing the likelihood of food contamination. And regular cleaning and maintenance help to remove dirt, debris, and any other condition that can allow a pest to thrive or survive. So maintaining the hygienic environment is pretty much one of the most foundational steps in food safety. It's right up there with the time and temperature controls. And this is mainly there to prevent cross-contamination, specifically from pests. Some common pests we're going to discuss. Cockroaches are a major concern in food establishments because they can carry harmful pathogens like Salmonella and E. coli on their bodies and in their droppings. And as they scurry through dirt and other droppings and other contaminants, they drag those along with them onto the food, which causes another cross-contamination risk. Bacteria contaminate food and contact surfaces. Flies are problematic for the same reason. They land on contaminated materials and fly around and deposit those materials everywhere else. On top of for the digestive process, they usually vomit or regurgitate stomach acid onto food surfaces before they can eat it and digest externally. So these all provide some opportunities for contamination. Rats, mice, and other rodents have their own diseases that they carry. One of the most famous is hantavirus. I think it was Gene Hackman's wife recently passed away as a result of hantavirus. I think it was her. There was some fairly famous celebrity recently who passed away as a result of hantavirus carried by mice. So, recognizing how they can get in, where they live, and how they can affect your food, and recognizing these pests and understanding the risks that they specifically pose can help to maintain a safe and healthy food environment. So, one of the other ways of protecting yourself is to recognize the early signs of a pest infestation, which will allow the food handler and the facility managers to take immediate action and prevent contamination and damage. Common signs of infestations include droppings, nests, gnawed or chewed food packaging, uh, and visible pests, like if you actually see them walking around. Either dead or alive. Even if you see husks of bugs, you know that they're going to be around somewhere. So regular inspections of all of your areas, especially those where food is stored or prepared, can help identify those signs. And this is also another reason why, as we covered, you want to lift up all your food up to 15 centimeters off the floor so you can look under and inspect for these things. So things you can do to prevent pest infestation. It involves a combination of exclusion, sanitation, and monitoring. Usually in pest control, you want to have two different tiers at least. The more barriers you put in place, the better protection you're going to have. So effective pest control begins with sealing entry points like your gaps in the windows and doors, making sure your weather stripping is intact, making sure there are no cracked pipes to keep pests from entering into your facility. You also want to have proper waste management so you can get rid of all the extra food, since most pests are attracted to the scent of any kind of leftovers. Your garbage should be handled effectively and efficiently and thrown out regularly so you prevent attracting these pests. Again, they're brought in by the smell. And you want to clean up all the areas around the garbage disposal site so that it's not really dirty. A good rule of thumb is twice a day, once in the middle of the day, once at the end of the day. So regular cleaning eliminates the particles in the water sources that the pests need to survive. So again, adequate waste disposal, we covered it just a little bit, but you want to make sure that it's managed appropriately and that any garbage that can attract pests and contribute to the proliferation of the spread of pathogens is dealt with. Which should always be stored in covered, leak-proof containers and disposed of on an as-needed basis, so before the can starts to overflow. This will prevent the buildup of odors and smells. It eliminates easy access for pests. It reduces the risk of contamination through the facility, as well as helping to maintain a positive image of cleanliness for clients. So outdoor waste storage areas should be cleaned regularly. Again, once at midday, once at the end of the day is usually a good way of doing it. You should ensure your lids can close, the area is swept and sprayed down with a hose, and then brushed with a stiff bristle broom at least once a week. Again, a better rule of thumb is twice a day or once a day. And you want to make sure that the waste area is clean and organized so it can help and be easier to maintain over time. The safety and quality of your food also depends on the design and construction and maintenance of the equipment used in your facility. So the equipment should be easy to clean, durable, and kept in good working condition. It should also be constructed of solid, non-porous, easily cleanable materials like stainless steel for cooking equipment or food-grade plastics where applicable, such as, good storage and cutting surfaces that are clean and solid and well-maintained and non-porous. Poorly maintained and incorrectly operated equipment can become a source of contamination. Equipment should be located in a way that minimizes the risk of cross-contamination. An example we're going to get to will be hand wash sinks, particularly in areas where raw and cooked foods are handled. So putting things in the right place can stop you from putting something down where it's going to contaminate something else. Uh, you want to make sure that all food contact equipment is made from materials that are non-toxic and corrosion resistant and easy to sanitize. Using the right materials helps to prevent chemical contamination and helps to keep equipment intact and fully functional over a longer period of time. So materials that risk corrosion, like stainless steel, are less likely to break down and release harmful substances during food processing and are generally easier to clean and maintain. So that helps to maintain the quality of your food as well as the safety and health of the consumer. So you should always make sure your facility is kept clean on a regular basis. Um, it's essential for preventing contamination from pests. It also helps to maintain hygienic food environments. So you just want to make sure that your equipment is all clean. You want to make sure it's non-porous. You want to make sure that it's maintained regularly. You want to be able to recognize any signs of pests early on before it becomes an issue. You want to dispose of all your waste right away before it becomes a problem. And you want to make sure that everybody knows how to use your equipment, make sure they know how to clean it, make sure it meets all of its regular standards for design, materials, and maintenance. And you want to make sure you're following the manufacturer's directions. You see down here the picture of the meat slicer. That's one of the most common problem areas. So just make sure that everyone knows how to tear down your equipment, wash it properly, and put it back together in accordance with the manufacturer's directions. That way you can get the most life out of your equipment and also protect the health and safety of your staff and customers.